Now, Russia is prepared to strike French troops in Ukraine if they are sent there to help train Ukrainian soldiers. Moscow has said that. It comes after a top Ukrainian military commander said that he had signed paperwork allowing French military instructors to visit training centres there. The news coincides with the US President Joe Biden lifting restrictions on Kyiv using its weapons inside Russia. The Kremlin said it would go to war with NATO if US weapons are used. OK, let's get more from our correspondent, Roman Goncharenko, who joins us now from Kharkiv in Ukraine. Roman, there's been heavy fighting there in Kharkiv in the last few weeks. Can you tell us, first of all, how things are looking there right now?
Well, in Kharkiv region, there are two hotspots. One is fairly close to Kharkiv on the Russian border. It's called Liptsi. As far as we understand, there is fighting there, but the situation seems to be stable. The second hotspot is in the town of Vovchansk, which is also close to the Russian border, further east. And there the freeze fighting continues. The Ukrainian forces reported that they were able to regain a few streets, but still Russians hold about a third of that town, Vovchansk. So the situation remains tense there. Here in the city of Kharkiv, which is the second largest city of Ukraine, it's been a little quieter in the past days, what we've heard from the locals. And some of them explain that with the fact that Ukraine now has an official green light from the United States, from other Western partners of Ukraine to hit Russian territory with Western weapons. And there were reports about some targets being hit close to the border, and this is of course something where Russia uses that territory close to the border to strike this city of Kharkiv.
So just to be clear, has it been confirmed that Ukraine has used Western weapons to strike inside Russia? Is that clear?
Well, as we speak, Ukraine has been has been keeping a very low profile on that. Just the same with Ukrainian weapons when Ukraine used its own weapons to strike Russia. So we now have only indirect confirmation through Western media, reported here by Ukrainian media, that at least one official said, yes, we did that, but the most Ukrainian officials are not commenting on that issue.
As we've reported, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has reiterated that if French soldiers were to be involved in Ukraine in training, that they would be a legitimate target for Russia. How seriously is that statement being taken in Kyiv?
Well, it is being taken seriously. It's not only Lavrov who says that, who has been saying that, so they keep repeating that threat. But in Ukraine here, they look at it in a different way. So they interpret it as an attempt to stop the West from helping Ukraine, from sending more weapons or more powerful weapons, or sending indeed instructors to Ukraine, which would be a breach of an unofficial red line. So Ukraine is worried that maybe that threat by Russia could lead to the fact that maybe France will think again and will not be as eager as some here expect and hope that France will send those instructors to Ukraine, maybe followed by some other countries, for example, the Baltic states.
Now, the US President Joe Biden and Volodymyr Zelensky will be meeting in Normandy in France this week at the D-Day commemorations. What are they likely to discuss, Roman, do you think, when they see each other there?
Well, there is a lot to discuss, indeed, between President Biden and President Zelensky. First and foremost, there is this peace summit in Switzerland, which is about to take place in about a week and a half. And it's been a huge diplomatic event for Ukraine. The Ukrainian president was hoping that Biden himself would attend. Then the news came that the Vice President Kamala Harris would go to Switzerland to represent the United States. So Zelensky is hoping to to develop that momentum to develop more pressure for a diplomatic solution. But of course, they understand that there will be more summits, more meetings to come like this. Then, of course, they will be talking about more weapons, more air defense systems, US-made Patriot systems for Ukraine. This is something that Ukraine needs urgently. Then they will also meet at the G7 summit in Italy. So they will be also discussing, I think, issues there, economic issues, but first and foremost, of course, the flow of weapons, the bilateral security agreement that is supposed to be signed between Zelensky and President Biden, and last but not least, the coming summit of NATO in Washington in July. This is where Ukraine is expecting some more moves and more intense cooperation between NATO and Ukraine.
Roman, thanks so much for that. That's Roman Goncharenko reporting from Kharkiv.